Okay, so welcome back to Quick Calculus, and in this video, gusto ko lang pasadahan yung formal definition of limits. Ano nga ba yung limit na sinasabi natin na limit as x approaches a, f of x is equal to L? No? So, pag sinabi natin na formal definition ng limit, we are referring to the epsilon delta definition of the limit. And the epsilon delta definition of the limit says na if we have a function f of x, assuming na it is defined for all values of x in an open interval containing a, then and L is a real number, take note, L is a real number, then the limit of x approaches a of f of x is equal to L if, okay, if for every epsilon, where epsilon is basically just a very small number, there exists a delta greater than 0 such that we have this inequality wherein 0 is less than the absolute value of x minus a less than delta, then the absolute value of f of x minus L should be less than epsilon. Okay? So, what does this mean? Di ba? So, sinabi natin, breakdown natin, no? So, for every epsilon greater than 0, meaning for every distance epsilon from L. Okay? So, kung gaano siya kalayo from L, there exists delta greater than 0, meaning there is a distance, positive distance ng delta from A such that yung inequality na to, so 0 is less than the absolute value of x minus a less than delta, then absolute value of f of x minus L less than epsilon, basically, if x is closer than delta to A, and hindi equal yung x and a, then f of x is closer than e to L. No? So basically, if we want to have an intuitive sense ng formal definition ng epsilon delta, let's say you have a graph here, diba? So we have the x-axis and the y-axis. And let's say you have a random graph there, and kumukuha ka ng, let's say a point, let's say this is A, and you take the distance delta away. No? So this is, let's say this is a minus delta, and this is a plus delta. Okay, so you have those points here. And let's say you have here the value, let's say L. No? So meaning, if we have a minus delta here, dapat this value would be L plus epsilon. Okay, and this value here would be L minus epsilon. So, sinasabi lang sa atin dito na kapag ka dumidikit ng dumidikit yung value doon sa ating A, dapat dumidikit din ng dumidikit yung value sa L. Okay, yun lang basically yung sinasabi na epsilon delta definition natin. So, we will use this definition to prove yung limits of a certain function, no? So I will see you in the next video para dun sa ating short example.